see. Testing. That seems to be working. Let's see if anyone else shows up for this. Oh, hey, Drew. Good to see you back again. Um, okay, I guess we'll go and get started then. It's already about 11 o'clock. So anyway, welcome back to another watch. And this time we're continuing with the Jurassic franchise with the one sequel that Steven Spielberg did direct, and that is The Lost World Jurassic Park, released in 1997. Because, like any successful blockbuster, of course, it's going to get a sequel. Although, to be fair, the original Michael Crichton novel did have a sequel book, and this is meant to be loosely based on that book. I do have to emphasize on loosely because they do make some changes. So, but yeah, this sequel was not a huge hit, I guess, at least from critics or audiences. They said it was a letdown compared to the first movie, but is that still the case? Well, only one way to find out. So, is if I just shut up and just get the movie started because this is like over 2 hours long. So I'm just going to get it set up here. Of course, I got my Jurassic Park T-shirt on again. So, by the way, if anyone's wondering, because I know some people are going to be wondering, yes, my plan is to do watch-alongs on all 7 Jurassic films, and I'm also planning to do the 2 Netflix shows, Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory. So that should be interesting. So. Okay, so I don't know how you guys are watching this, but my copy of the film, it's let's see, how long is this? 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 46 seconds long. Just to let y'all know so that we could try to be at the same sync with this. So I mean it should be. So anyway, let me go and get press play. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. And the movie's starting. Good, because we're already 3 minutes into the stream and we're just now starting the movie, so I just really hope my mic doesn't act up like yesterday because that was not good. So, yeah. Yeah, holding out with the movie this long, I know. You know, it would be worse if I was binge watching some episodes of a TV show and it cut me off like near the end of that stream. That would be awful. Isla Sorna, 87 miles southwest of Isla Nublar. Like, I'm just thankful that I didn't lose a connection when I did my watch along of Inland Empire, the David Lynch movie, because that's a 3 hour long movie. So, yeah. Universal Pictures logo, huh? And we just cut to this random family with a yacht that just so happens to stumble upon this island, and they aren't aware what this island is or what's on it for some reason. Rich people, am I right? Yeah, I guess engine forgot to put up signs. I know, right? Really, lady? Snakes are your biggest concern? I think you're about to see there's a much bigger concern on this island than just little snakes. And who am I kidding? Even if dinosaurs were brought back to life today, people would still be more afraid of snakes. Yeah, I'm aware that this is the only other Jurassic film that Spielberg directed. He didn't direct the future films. Some sort of bird. I mean, you're not that far off, kiddo, since birds are related to dinosaurs. So yeah, our introduction to the Compsognathus, or Compies for short. Oh dear. I mean, it could be worse. You could have ran into one of the raptors. I know, right? Never feed wild animals. I mean, she did drop the sandwich, but then I guess they started attacking her. Okay, that's one of the craziest edits right there. She screams, then it cuts to Jeff Goldblum. I don't know. That's just funny to me. Probably one of those unintentionally funny edits in cinema. Yeah, I heard that in the novel, the Compies ate a baby, and I don't I don't know if you watch the YouTube channel Ali Awada. He does Jurassic Park animations that are really cool. He actually did do a recreation scene of the baby being killed in the book in one of his videos. It's pretty horrific. I mean, nothing is shown, but just the implications is horrifying. Jerk. So, a common criticism I tend to hear from people about this film is that Jeff Goldblum just doesn't feel like the same, like Ian Malcolm. He doesn't feel the same he was in the first film. He doesn't have that same snarky energy he had in the first film. I always took it as he's so burnt out from everything that happened in the first movie. Like all the years have passed, and people not believing him or not taking him seriously about anything. So I don't know. I take it that he's just a man who's been worn down by society because of them not taking him seriously due to his accounts of, what happened on Nublar. Hey, the kids are back, but only for this one scene in the movie. You basically survived jungle warfare. And here we get our human antagonist of the film, Peter Ludlow. Probably, in my opinion, okay, if I ever did a ranking of every villain in every Steven Spielberg movie, I'd say Peter Ludlow would be up there in their low tier, like one of the lamer villains to come out of this franchise. Of course, misinformation about how certain people die is typical. I want to cover up their bullshit. Yeah, Nina reminds you that this guy nearly survived and barely survived an attack from a T-Rex. It's like, yeah, he said the line. Sorry. Has anyone ever played the Jurassic World Evolution games on Steam? I've played the first and second one. I still haven't gotten the third game yet. I want to. I've heard the third game is really good. Like I know they recently released the Jurassic Rebirth expansion pack, so can only watch. I mean, you can only watch like gameplay on YouTube or something. You have Jurassic World. You know, I've always wanted to play Operation Genesis. I remember years and years when I was little, I played it at a friend's house, but I never owned a PlayStation or anything. So, gee, it's almost as if Ian is very self-aware of how ridiculous this whole mission is. I still think he still has a snarky personality he did in the first movie. Yeah, I'm just having lunch right now, by the way. I just have some leftover Chinese chicken from the other night, some rolls, some popcorn on the side. Yeah, kind of a weird combination, but you know, food is food. They stumbled across the island. Last chance of redemption, huh? Hey, Anita. Don't worry, you haven't missed much. Well, I mean, there's the opening with the British family and the compies, but studying African predators is one thing, but you're not studying African predators like lions or hyenas. These are much bigger predators to worry about. Yes, I've seen your comment regarding Spielberg, but Tiller already brought that up earlier. So I know Spielberg only directed the first film and this one. It had nothing to do with the later films. Well, I mean, as far as the director anyway goes. Yeah, you already said that this film came out the same year as Hercules. It's also the year we got three of the best anime films ever: Princess Mononoke, Perfect Blue, and End of Evangelion. Your daughter, Ian? I know, Drew. Yeah, how many times did he say in the first film he's been married? Like twice or three times? I don't know. Like I'm not signing racist or anything. That's not it at all. It's just, you know. And I think the movie even later itself comments on this. So Sarah's on the island. That's what they're going for, just to get her. Oof, that's a burn right there. Mm. You see all the other islands on that map, which those islands you do get to see on Jurassic World Evolution. You get to build parks on those islands. Yeah, more dinosaur-filled islands. That good, huh? Yeah, I know. Give what lives on the island. Yeah, this is no Fisherman's Tale. Clearly, there is stuff on the island to be afraid of. So, I remember when this movie came out, they made a lot of toys of these vehicles. I had one that had a Stegosaurus on the truck. That would actually, it's built where if you move it, it rips part of the truck off. It was kind of a cool toy. Oh, so it's hot in the UK where you're at, Anita? It's supposed to get pretty hot starting next week here in the States. I mean, we are entering summer now, so nothing always gets me. How many Sarahs do you think is on this island? 2 years before War. I never played Warpath, but then again, I never owned a PlayStation, so. Well, speaking of which, Stegosaurus, one of my favorite dinosaurs as a kid. We didn't see them in the first film, but we see them here. Right on you, Ian. Later, there's running and screaming. No, these are different Stegosaurus. Wow, what perfect timing they just happened to find her. Yeah, we'll get to Pete Potts in a little bit. But yeah, that's one actor we lost way too soon. Yeah, of course, the licensing plan failed because, as said before, life finds a way. It's a baby Stego. Again, I just miss when movies did this, where they actually build animatronics like this, like build practical and not have to overly use CGI. Something the Jurassic World films would constantly do, for the most part. Mhm. Even with a dinosaur, we humans just cannot resist wanting to touch an adorable animal when you see it. It's just how we are for some reason. Yeah, the Star Wars prequels are kind of guilty of overuse of CGI with barely using practical. I'll have to do the Star Wars film someday and the Star Wars shows. Good job. Now you just made the baby afraid. And now the parents are angry. Almost got hit by the Thagomizer. Hmm. I'm not sure if the Stegosaurus had the ability to do that with its tail, where it just do that. I don't know. Yeah, I never understood. Say what you will about this movie. One thing I think it does differently than the first film is it does acknowledge that even the herbivores are dangerous, something we didn't see in the first movie. So, like, just because it eats plants doesn't mean it's automatically friendly. Okay, but I hate when people come to that conclusion to think that it eats plants, it won't eat me. Who said it was going to eat you? These aren't the same thing, Sarah. These are very different. And how y'all didn't notice she stole away with y'all? Even they acknowledge the weird family resemblance, you know? I'm gonna be really honest with y'all. If I ever did a list of what I consider the top 10 worst characters in the Jurassic franchise, Sarah would probably be somewhere in the top 10, maybe even top 5 for me. As a kid, I never liked her. As an adult, I still don't like her. Yeah, a very different situation. Like what? Well, it's not just that. It's this conversation she has with him about why not rescue me from this and this. This like, lady, those are completely different situations. No, not the actress. I mean the character. I'm talking about the character. Not nothing against the actress. It's the character. Yes, I have a reason to be afraid of this place. Have you forgotten he nearly died to a T-Rex in the last film, right? On the other island. It's not to mention all the other crap that went on there. And in comes Engine. Yeah, I'm not sure if Hammond is the one that sent these guys. And there's Roland, played by the late Pete Postlethwaite. Friar Tuck. Yeah, casual dinosaur names, right? Like, you hire people to hunt these things, they don't even know the names of the dinosaurs. Well, okay, this guy does. The guy that looks like Robert Bacher. Yeah, I know, they went into the Momentosaurus, which basically just the Brachiosaurus redesigned to look like the Momentosaurus. And we got a Pachycephalosaurus here. Yeah, I know the sounds of the Parasaurolophus would be used in Star Wars Episode 2. I don't know if the Pachy's head was that strong to withstand that kind of impact. That's a crazy contraption you put on that vehicle. Speaking of Parasaurolophus, yeah, I know Tim and Lex, they made a small appearance in the opening of this film. I know, right? That's not the Elvis dino. I think you're. Then again, I don't know how popular Cryolophosaurus was at the time this film came out. Mm. Yeah, I know, right? Like the females are thought to be bigger than the males, but who knows? Okay, that was a dick move to do. You just made yourself an enemy. I don't know what you mean when you say this has a similar plot to Land Before Time 2. They're pretty different movies. And there's the Rex baby. So I've heard, I could be wrong, but I remember hearing there's a lot of stuff that was deleted from this film, but I think there was a delete scene that explains how the baby got its leg broken. Apparently, Ludlow, I guess, got drunk and he stumbled and he fell on top of the baby, and that's how it broke its leg. Which, if that's true, then that's definitely karma of what happens to him at the end of this film. Yeah, because they're idiots for wanting to take these off the island. So this has been filmed live, huh? Yeah, now it's Unleash the Chaos. And you got a Triceratops. Great. Yeah, about that. Looks like you're being behind schedule now because now they're all free. What is with these movies and people trying to avoid getting crushed by cars that fall out of trees? Oh, now you show concern, Sarah. Yeah, I know Nick is an eco-terrorist, but you're gonna get us all killed because, yeah, that no. I can't read it. It's in Spanish. You don't want to know, Eddie. Yeah, right. Isn't there a way to like knock it out? Like not literally, like not conk it on the head or anything, but like sedate it. Yeah, even Ian knows what that is. It's yes, I've seen a continent about King Kong, whatever. Just, yeah, listen to the kid. She knows what's going on. Yeah, well, I guess Sarah and Ian, Sarah and Nick, they're on their own. Um, yeah, yeah, that's the sound of death, all right. Yeah, T-Rex roar. The T-Rex roar is awesome, even if it is very unlikely. That's how T-Rex would have sounded. Considering that apparently it's very unlikely dinosaurs actually roared because reptiles don't have the ability to make roaring sounds like mammals do. Yeah, they're coming. Even up that high, I still would be nerf shattered just seeing that. It's just the trees moving like that. That's an understatement. Mommy and daddy are here. Yeah. No dust, sir, you think? I know, like, what the did you think they were here for? Yeah. He said they were heading to the jungle, but what, they decided to turn around and just destroy the the RV? Not RV, but the trailer, whatever it's called, I don't know. Mhm. Yeah, I seen your comment regarding the scream from Atlantis. Mhm. I think that fall alone should have smashed through the glass. I mean, good thing Ian has some pretty good arm strength. And it's Eddie to the rescue. Yeah, this is not a time for jokes, guys. Come on. Yeah, tree stump. Yeah, you got another problem. Yep. Of course, it has to get jammed. I mean, give Eddie credit. He's not giving up. I know, right? I feel like it's in these earlier films that they're allowed to be big heroes, whereas in the later films, yeah, I don't know. You might want to do something now. It's raining and it's muddy everywhere, so you guys got to get a move on up there. Jeez. You got a new problem? They never left. And of course, your damn gun is stuck. Of all things. That's quite a way to go. Honestly, might have one of the most brutal death scenes in this franchise. Sheesh. Something else I will give this film credit is the movie doesn't treat the hunters as evil or villainous. I mean, yeah, what they're doing is wrong, but it's clear that they're just hired to do a job, and we don't know the story. Maybe they just needed the money. I mean, I don't know. Just saying. I'm Roland especially. I wouldn't call him an antagonist of any kind. He's just clearly a hunter who has a dream, but then, as we'll see later on, it's something he'll come to regret. Really, the only one evil in this group, I would say, is Ludlow. So, I know, Anita. It's just look, a large part of the issue, I'll admit, I'm a horrible procrastinator, that's part of it, but also life's just been very busy for me, especially recently because now I finally have another part-time job. Like I'm still working at Kroger, but now I have a new job at a boarding kennel. So now I'm gonna have even less time to be home. Yeah, yeah, pretty great line. Some people just want to live life to the extreme, I guess. Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong about that, Ludlow. Just saying. Consider what happens at the end of this film. Just you said that before that the Brachiosaurus doesn't appear in this movie. Instead, they have the Momentosaurus, which is basically just the Brachiosaurus design, just remodeled. Yeah, I heard about Davy Chase. Recipes in her. We'll be getting to Lilo and Stitch eventually, but okay, this guy's kind of an idiot. Like, I get the yeah, probably not a good idea not to watch the code. So this guy, he goes off because he has to use the bathroom. But like, why do you have to wander that far away from the group? You could just gone behind that one large tree that's right next to them. That I don't think anyone would care. You know, why is the guy just listening to headphones like music? Like you realize where you are, right? Yeah, you're gonna regret that. How'd you get yourself lost? Yeah. They seem to like the taste of you. Yeah, I know the tears were using a Bug's Life. I remember. Um, mm. So I'll admit this part of the film never made sense to me as a kid, like how he looked like he was getting weaker and weaker. Like they didn't bite him enough for that. But then it wasn't until later on that I learned that I think they didn't make the clear in this movie, but I think in the show Camp Cretaceous they established that the compies apparently use some sort of neurotoxin in their bites that weakens their prey. So that's why you see him like he's getting weaker and weaker, like he's having trouble standing up. Which if that's the case, that makes these things even more terrifying. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily venom per se. Like, it's not a type of poison. It's just something that just makes you weaker. Like, you go numb and you can't like run or fight back or anything. Yeah, he's dead. So I will admit, while I do enjoy some aspects of this film, I will agree the pacing is a little slower compared to the first film. Like, I don't know, it doesn't feel as evenly paced compared to the previous movie. It's just the parts they didn't like. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna have an hour given what's about to happen. Yeah, that's why you probably should have got rid of that jacket entirely because then it's got the baby's blood all over it. It's Yeah, that would be horrifying. Yeah, I think your soul would just like, exit out of your body the moment this happens. Like, I'd rather that happen than to have this Rex take me. Jeez. Great. See, that's the doe that's chasing them. Or yeah. Mhm. Well, yeah, he's definitely dead. Veterinary tranquilizers, huh? And there's the buck. Something else that's kind of cool in this movie is now that we have male dinosaurs here, we get to see some sexual dimorphism between the genders. Like, obviously, the males are more colorful than the females. Ew. Dude, come on. That was a milk snake, okay? They're not venomous. Yep, he's dead. Honestly, I hated he died. Like, he was kind of cool. You're right. It was just a little snake, and it was a king snake too. You could tell because red on black front of Jack. If it was a coral snake, it could be red on yellow, kill a fellow. So, and I run into the tall grass, which I'm gonna be honest with you. This scene kind of horrified me as a kid. Yeah. Yeah, and they're all dead. I will say this movie definitely has a larger body count than the first movie. Mm. I know it's just a huge buffet for the Velociraptors, so it's and Ian definitely knows the sound of that. Even though he didn't encounter the raptors in the first movie, but that's all he needs to know that yeah, no, out of here. Ew. Mm. Surprised they all survived that. And now it looks like some sort of dinosaur graveyard they've landed into. Nick, did you at least bring a gun with you of some sort? Some kind of weapon to defend yourself in case anything happens? Yeah, like a book's gonna do anything. Yeah, you mentioned that about the raptor snort. Okay. It sounds like Roland brought the buck down. Yeah, this movie's almost over. We still have like what, half an hour left. Mm. I don't think I'll have time to do the next watch along after this because after this I'll have to get ready for work at the kennel. Maybe tonight if I have time I will because next up will be the first 13 episodes of SMG4 season 4. Mm. Your lucky pack again, and for the last time, since you know. Mm. I'm gonna say it's. I mean, even though these are not based, I'm gonna say dromaeosaurs, raptors are far more terrifying than a T-Rex. I'd say. Yeah, I've seen the nostalgic review of Lost World Jurassic Park at the time, but eek. Yeah, that's a jump scare right there. I do like how the males have like these sort of tiger stripes on them. It's kind of a sick design. Time to put those gymnastics to good use, Kelly. Yeah, I can imagine she goes back to that gymnastics class and like, hey, I whooped a velociraptor's ass. What do about it? Right? Like, why did they cut her from the team? Right? Like, I mean, that's what my animals do. Being my dogs or my cats, if you say something towards them, they'll usually look at your direction. And now a fight breaks out between the two raptors. Well, that chopper came quick. Yes, I've seen your comment regarding Jeff Olson. Yeah, that was yeah. She's gonna be traumatized for life. I know, right? Like Roland, yeah, you got your trophy, but you lost your friend RJ to the Raptors. So it shows that he is still human. He's not just a mindless hunter. Like he still has people in his life he cares about. So and already it jumps to San Diego. Yeah, if I understand, there was some stuff that was cut out between these scenes. Like I think there was gonna be a scene where the chopper was gonna be attacked by pteranodons or something like that. No one's responding. I don't know what Diego from Ice Age has anything to do with those. So. Yeah, you all might want to leave the area. Um, I would like get out of there, please. I mean, it's similar to King Kong when Khan breaks out, but Yeah, this scene never made sense to me. Like, what happened to the crew? Like, there's no way the T-Rex did it because it was sedated the whole time. So, what did a pack of raptors come in and kill the crew? Well, what I'm saying is that the buck was pretty much tranquilized the whole time until now. So, like, I'm thinking, did a pack of raptors just jump onto the ship, ate the crew, and then jump off the ship? Like, I don't know. I can't think of any. I don't know. Maybe I will do the King Kong films eventually, and the Godzilla films as well. Because I have the Kong Godzilla crossovers. Too late. You've unleashed the beast. So great. Now there's a T Rex in San Diego. No fruits, vegetables, or animals beyond this point. How those people don't hear or see a T Rex walking by? I don't know. You're like, not like your career isn't safe because you're responsible for this happening. So after all this, I'm pretty sure Engine is going to be out of business because they're the ones that allowed this to happen. So and now T-Rex in the neighborhood. That's yeah. I love how you can see it just trying to scratch its little fingers. Ooh, thirsty? You better hope there's no chlorine in that pool. That's something you don't want to see outside your bedroom. Yeah, I know, right? People leave their dogs chained outside like that. Come on, really. It's not the dog has the issue. It's just leaving them chained up where they can't just run away in case something bad does end happen. Not that we have to worry about dinosaurs in our backyard. Hopefully, yeah, kids love dinosaurs, but does that mean we want to see them live in our backyard? Yeah, y'all weren't expecting this. And there goes your dog. And there's the amphitheater. Yeah, what is intention? Too small for enclosure. Like maybe it's just there because until they have its enclosure fixed. I don't know. Then again, I'm really confused how this amphitheater is even set up. If it's supposed to hold large dinosaurs, and maybe I need to look up a layout online, see if they could explain it. And here comes the chaos. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for the T-Rex because it's in an environment it has no idea what it is, it has no idea where it's at, and is just confused by everything that's around it. Like it probably sees this bus as just a large, dinosaur. Wait, King Lear with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where's that movie? Oh man, right to the blockbuster. There's some group of Asians running. Yeah, well, it's not Godzilla, but Yeah, I think we all miss Blockbuster. I think there's at least one Blockbuster still in operation, but it's in Oregon. I think that's where it's at. Wakey, wakey. Up here's a. I love how Animal controls with the police. Like, what are they gonna do? Yeah, yeah, it's definitely behind you. Shame Ian had to ruin his car like that. You know, where did the Rex go at this point? Like, he was following them a moment ago. Like, it's gonna respond to you, you idiot. Just yeah, he's clearly not happy to see you. He remembers what you did to him. And here comes Daddy. I imagine that would have broke your legs. And there. Now let's lock him up. Yeah, we'll never need to worry about dinosaur North American continent again. At least not until Fallen Kingdom. They're clearly tired. Like, Kelly, how are you not sleeping? Will Primal appear in Heroes Villains? Maybe. We'll see. Directed by Steven Spielberg. So yes, that was The Lost World Jurassic Park. And look, it's not good as good as the first film, obviously. I think that goes without saying. Is it really as bad as everyone hypes it up to be? I forgot Kathleen Kennedy's the executive producer of this. Ugh. Um, I mean, I guess, like I said before, I think the pacing is a little slower than the first film. That's part of the problem. But even with that said, I still find it relatively enjoyable. I will admit it's a guilty pleasure of mine. Do I think it's one of Steven Spielberg's worst movies he's directed? I mean, compare this to like Always or 1941 or the BFG. Like, I don't think it's that bad. But I don't know. It's like I'll say it's yeah, there's certain characters in here that just get on my skin, especially Sarah. Like, maybe she's not as annoying as the characters in the Jurassic World films, and yeah, we'll get to those later. But yeah. Um I do like some of the new dinosaurs we get to see with like the compies and even the ones that don't get as much screen time, like the Pachycephalosaurus or the Stegosaurus. But yeah. Yeah, this yeah, to people who said that this was the franchise at its worst, clearly eventually become. So because it could always get worse than this, which but yeah, we'll see what happens in the next film in this franchise. I mean that won't be the next watch on obviously. But y'all know what I mean. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stop here. I don't think I'll have time for another watch along now since I got to leave for work in a little over an hour. I now work at an animal shelter that's well a boarding well it's a boarding kennel that's but it's like it takes half an hour to drive there. So yeah. Um I might try to do the next watch along tonight. If not, well, okay, I won't have time tomorrow because tomorrow I'll be gone all day. So we'll see how when it will be. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I guess I will catch you all in the next one. So later.